Hello everybody, I'm Simon Leach and welcome to the studio. What have I got for you today? Well, I'll tell you what, I thought what we'd do is we'd make some honey pots together. Now, what's a honey pot, you might say? Well, honey pot or a small lidded pot, you could say it's a jam pot or a sugar bowl. But I thought we'd run through the motions and make it with a lid and putting on the knob and everything. It'll probably take up 2 or 3 clips. But I thought we'd give it a shot, okay? Right, so let's go. Let's go down to the wheel head where the action is. But first we need the clay, don't we? Hang on. I'm actually in the process, right down here on my workbench here, of kneading up some clay. So I thought, without further ado, I'll let you in on that with me. Now remember, it's always good to knead your clay well, and remember that well kneaded clay is the foundation of any good pot that you make. You may have good designs in your head and fanciful ideas maybe, but if your clay isn't properly kneaded, you're going to have a lot of hard work and problems when it actually comes to the throwing. So I'm giving this a good knead, and I generally give it about 100 like this. 100, you say? That sounds an awful lot. Well, it's not that many really. Come on, you can do it. Get your clay, put your body weight into it, don't break your back, don't strain your wrists. Let your body work. Keep your arms straight. So, as you see, it develops a nice shell-like. Once you get that rhythm going and you get that consistency. So, what we're going to do now is, I'm going to look at my watch actually. That's what I'm going to do now. Make sure I don't go over time. Now I roll it up now into a cone shape, like that. Right, got my scales here. These are going to weigh in at, we're going to weigh them at 400, which is a fraction bigger than that one I just showed you. But now when you add clay to clay, when you're weighing up lumps of clay, by the way, I do encourage you, weigh up your clay. Don't just take off random lumps, but weigh. But when you then, like I'm doing, you can see I'm adding the little bits of clay to get the right amount. Be careful you don't trap air at this stage, okay? It's easy to trap air when you're adding small little pieces. Right, now we want the lid 175, so we'll make that just a smidgen under 2. About there. That's about it, yeah, for the lid. Right. Okay. Right, I've got some clay there kneaded up. Remember, wrap up your clay, your remaining clay. Don't leave it in the air. Put them over there. And that one is the lid. Okay, let's turn the camera around now to where we're going to do this job of work. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, let's get some light on the subject. Okie dokie. So, now, let's have a look. It's plastic. Lump of clay. Thank you. So, you're going to need, when you do this, a pair of calipers, alright? Let's make the body. Bear in mind that this is
By the way, folks, I'm sorry I'm not outside in my usual situ with the overhead. I'm inside and I don't have the overhead apparatus in here for filming from above. So it's back to how we once were. So basically we want to aim for making a cylindrical shape, okay? So going for your cylindrical form here. Use plenty of water. Now lifting the clay, checking in my wing mirror over there, making sure I'm not running down any pedestrians. Okay, up we come. Now it's slightly barrel shaped, this pot. Now this is a good pot for you to practice on at home, in your group, in your own studio, in your own time, wherever, because this is just a lidded pot, the shape of which you could enlarge and make bigger, and it could be, if you can imagine, the same shape as I'm making now, but more squat, but bigger, say this big, but slightly lower. What does it become then? It becomes a casserole, isn't it? If you make it smaller like I'm doing, then it's just a little jam pot. And so you can alter the proportions so it becomes actually a useful shape to know how to make. Alright. The belly of this pot, the widest point, is about equidistant, alright, between the top and the bottom. With my stick, bearing in mind, folks, this is not going to be, no trimming involved with these, alright? Don't get hung up on trimming, having to trim everything. You waste so much time, and life's too short. That's a good line, that one, isn't it? Life's too short. Okay, so I'm looking for a nice rounded shape. Okay, now remember, because these are not going to be trimmed, we're going to put in a bevel. You can see me with the stick. If you put the stick in like that, then turn it like that a little bit, and then snick it down under. That'll give you a nice 45-degree bevel. Okay, sponge. We're going to give these a leather. Now what we're going to do is we're going to measure, using these calipers, we're going to measure the inside measurement there. Because that's the measurement I'm going to use. Wire. I need a wire. Maybe on that wheel over there's a wire. Lovely, thank you. So we're going to cut that one off. And lift him like this. Just dry your hands on your apron, okay? And just hold him like that and just lift towards you. Okay? And there he comes. He'll come off easy. Put him down there. Now I've got that measurement. Now what I want to do is make the lid. So this is the lid. So we're going to center up the lump, going down. Now bear in mind the thickness on the base here, down the bottom. Pull the clay across like that. Now I'm looking for my calipers. Okay, because I've got to throw a gallery here in this lid. See what I'm doing there? See that angle I put on it like that? Now, with that angle there. Now taking the back side of my nail, flipping my finger over like that, okay, and pushing down there. Creating that gallery. Now don't let the lip here get too thin and pointed, so stub it with your finger like that to keep it thick on the edge. Okay, are you with me? Right. Let's take a measurement now. Now when you measure this, remember this gallery here, this part just there, may not be vertical. It may be wider at the base than it is at the top. Alright, so remember what we're doing is taking the measurement from the base. Well, at the moment looking at that, it's a little wide. So I'm going to narrow that like that, and okay, now we're going to take that measurement going down there. Yes. Okay, another thing to bear in mind is the height that you make this part, and also the width that you make this part, the overall width, because that's going to be what is the overhang. Okay, so like that, round that edge, and leather him. Always good, don't forget the leather. Now the lid will be trimmed, so what we're going to do is we're going to only just put in a token sticking there with my stick. That's all you need to do, and make sure when you pick up your wire from the last time you used it, you clean it between your fingers, as you see I'm doing. Thumbs down with the wire on the wheel head, and then just pull it slowly but surely towards you like that. Don't hesitate with the wire. Okay, now then, what I need is a could you get me a bat? Just down there, underneath there's a bat. Alright, thank you. Now, what I'm going to do is, with my fingertips which are dried off, just lift it like that, you see, underneath, and put in there. I'll take the body again, put him there beside. There we have it, folks. That is your small lidded pot, whether it be a bigger version, whether it be a casserole dish, wide or broad, short or tall. You can use the same technique, alright, for doing that. Okay, this is Simon Leach here. Why don't you join us for the continuation of this clip, and don't forget, keep practicing.